Attention, attention. David Evans to the stage. David Evans, please report to the stage at this time. We are 3 minutes away from fun. Good evening. If all of you would please stand for the presentation of colors by the Basha High School ROTC and our national anthem, which will be performed by our very own Casteel High School Encore Jazz Choir.
So proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You may be seated. My name is Jason Phillips. I'm the very proud principal of Dr. Camille Casteel High School. To begin tonight's introduction of the student body, I'd like to introduce President Madison Cook, who will give the class of 2019 welcome and make the introductions.
Good evening, students, faculty, family, and friends. My name is Madison Cook, Student Body President. I'm pleased to welcome you to Casteel High School's 2019 graduation ceremony. I would like to take a moment to introduce you to our distinguished faculty and guests. CUSD Superintendent Dr. Camille Casteel, CUSD Governing, thank you. CUSD Governing Board Vice President Mr. David Evans, CUSD Governing Board Member Karen McGee, and Casteel High School Principal Mr. Jason Phillips. Our faculty members and name readers this evening will be Mrs. Jennifer Johnson and Mr. Lucas Little. This evening is the beginning of another tradition for Dr. Camille Casteel High School. Every senior class wants to leave a legacy. At times, that can be nerve-wracking and stressful, but there's extra pressure on us, being that we're the first class to graduate from the one and only Dr. Camille Casteel High School. Give it up. However, before I dive right into that, I'd like to point out just how different our graduating class is from every other senior class graduating this year. Yes, we're all seniors, we all like to go to Dutch Bros, and we all Snapchat constantly, but there is one thing that distinguishes us from every other senior class. We, Casteel's class of 2019, have truly become a family. Many of us started off here 4 years ago, when our school was simply one building surrounded by dirt. In the beginning, it was just a group of 251 kids from different schools. All we really had was each other, which I'm extremely grateful for, since without some of you, I would have never been able to find out what my classes were. There were no upperclassmen to rely on for help, to tell us which teachers we would love and what ones we would love even more. And that made it hard at times. But if there was one upside, it was that I never had to see if freshman prank week was a real thing. When I would walk down the vast hallways, I was always greeted by a plethora of familiar, welcoming faces. Mr. Wilson scaring away students in his Darth Vader costume, Mrs. Frederickson as she ran around planning every student council event, and so many more amazing teachers that welcomed us all into our cult family. Everyone here today made this family wave happen. From friends meeting at coffee shops to study, to everyone having a great time at our homecoming dances, which, by the way, I think our dances have come a long way since our first up and coming in the cafeteria freshman year. Yeah. I truly believe with this family we've created, we have molded our school into one of the best. Everyone who chose to come here 4 years ago didn't know what they were getting into. It was a brand new school, and while it might have been easier to follow our friends to an established school, we all took a chance. I was one of those students, and standing with you all today, I can honestly tell you I'm glad I did it. And for those of you who didn't start here 4 years ago, I hope you know you are just as much a part of this family. I know this whole family metaphor sounds cliche, but in our case, it's true. And a huge reason I've constantly believed that is because of Mrs. Lumberg. There was never a time that I would see her, talk to her, or even hear about her where she wasn't shining such a bright light onto our school. She made this school feel like home. And with her motto of courage, character, and commitment, I know we were all going to do great things and leave a legacy for all to remember. She made me, and many of you as well, feel overwhelmingly special, which helped build this family of over 300 students that we have here today. She referred to every person who walked into our school as white buffaloes, some of the most unique and rare creatures in the world, which is why each of our graduates are wearing the white buffalo pin this evening. Her faith in us and our school gave us the courage that we needed to be the uncommon students that she always spoke of. We've also placed a candle on the stage to remember all of those who are not with us this evening. And that is what brings me to our legacy, what we will leave behind, and how current and future students will remember us. Our legacy is that we made this school what it is today. We embraced our differences with other schools, and we built this pride that our school stands on. We gave this school Friday Night Lights. We gave this school Senior Assassins, and we gave this school so much more. After us, everything will be done by our example, and honestly, I don't think our legacy can get any better than that. We set the precedent for all the future graduating classes, and this precedent is quite high, so I wish the best of luck to the class of 2020. The number of people I've seen grow from timid little freshman students to intelligent and almost graduated adults over the last 4 years makes me so hopeful for everything our lives have in store for us. So, I'd like to end my speech saying how proud I am of every single student standing here with me today. We overcame every obstacle we faced, and we need to keep doing so as we go out into the real world. Don't think of us graduating as a goodbye. Think of it as a see you later, because that's what families do. So tonight, I would like to welcome you all into our cult family as we celebrate this momentous occasion. Thank you.
Thank you, Madison. Now I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Camille Casteel, Superintendent of the Chandler Unified School District.
Good evening, Casteel students, staff, parents, and friends. Mr. Phillips, thank you for inviting me to speak tonight. I must tell you that with 48 years in the school district and 23 years as the superintendent, this will be the first time I've spoken at a graduation ceremony. And my heart is pounding right now, so. I have shaken thousands of hands and have been the recipient of hundreds of hugs, but I want you to know how full my heart is this evening at being allowed to be part of the history of this first graduating class of Casteel High School. A special thanks, Mr. Phillips, to your administration, your faculty and staff for making this year so memorable for each student here tonight. Your work, commitment, and dedication to these graduates are well documented. As I contemplated this evening, I found myself wanting to share my thoughts and feelings with Mrs. Lundberg, who I will refer to as Sandy. I wanted to celebrate the fulfillment of the many goals and dreams that she created as we started planning for Casteel High School just 4 short years ago. So tonight, I hope you will reflect with me as I send Mrs. Lundberg a note of congratulations. Dear Sandy, well, you did it, and that's a true story. As you can see, the stars are shining exceptionally bright tonight because the first ever Casteel High School graduating class walks across this stage and accepts their diplomas. Over 300 students, and Sandy, as they do, they take their place in history, the history of this school, and are a testament to the legacy you created. In 2015, the class was just over 200 ninth graders. They were the pioneers, those students who were willing to work hard and develop new friendships, establish the Casteel traditions, and earn Casteel's place in the district and state. They had the responsibility of forging the path that future graduating classes would follow. And this group of young people have hit it out of the ballpark with a list of accomplishments that is far too long for my allotted time. However, rest assured, outstanding academic accomplishments topped off with national merit semifinalists, superior performances in choir, orchestra, band, and drama departments that would best any high school in this state. Community service exemplifies their compassion and generosity, and athletic accomplishments that are unprecedented for a school a mere 4 years old, with individual and team championships too many to list. Sandy, I remember your joy when you learned you were going to be the principal of this new school on the edge of the CUSD territory, the last comprehensive high school our district would build. You called it your dream job, and ultimately you took this community by storm. I remember both your trepidation and your excitement when you found out this school was going to carry your boss's name. We had more than a few laughs about that. We both knew my decisions were going to be closely scrutinized by the other schools because they were going to watch to see if I favored Casteel with district resources and time. And I remember your eagerness to create a school where the sky was the limit. Now, I won't say you were a nag, but you certainly didn't like hearing no. And if I ever said, well, we'll see about it, you would get this subtle wrinkling on your forehead. And sure enough, the next week you would be back again. I can remember when one of your requests, well, frankly, all your requests were quite costly, but one in particular. And I remember telling you, Sandy, Rome wasn't built in a day. And she said to me, well, that's a true story, Camille, but this isn't Rome. This is Casteel High School. She laid it to rest and she got what she asked for. I think you would agree that the lessons shared with these graduates while they have been here at Casteel will carry them through life. And let's be clear, I'm not speaking of the lessons shared with them through the classes, their activities, and all the programs, but the lessons that you and your staff modeled. First and foremost, Sandy, your vision of the white buffalo, a vision of rare accomplishment, beauty, and vitality, will live on in the hearts and minds of all who are a part of this legacy. It extends to every student, staff member, and really to the entire community. You had a clear vision, a clear picture of that vision. You knew what it would look like in real life, and you lived it. You hoped that your students and staff would also realize that vision by reaching for extraordinary goals, being persistent, if not perfect, and finding their passion. You, the staff and students, decided on a motto: courage, character, and commitment. I want to tell this first graduating class that in my experience, I have found that courage takes many forms. Sometimes it's being bold enough to believe in yourself and take a risk, or being courageous enough to accept a challenge. Or perhaps courage is the decision to try again after failure. Maybe it's speaking out for those who can't speak for themselves, or admitting when you're wrong. Sandy, I believe that these graduates understand courage and are part of a generation that will change the world for the better. The character of this graduating class is their most important possession, in my opinion, and I challenge them to guard it and maintain it passionately. Of course, there are many different ideas about the components of character, but to me, the most important component, integrity. Also compassion and action. Above all, graduates, you must be honest. Never waver on that score, even when it's difficult. And keep your heart open to those having a hard time, and do what you can to ease the suffering of others, even if it's a small thing. And always, always follow through with what you say you will do, because your actions are the real evidence of your character. The third part of the motto, commitment. And Sandy, you modeled it every day. I'm sure these students knew that you worked tirelessly from dawn to dusk on their behalf, that you believed, you really believed, in every single student's potential to succeed, that you would leave no stone unturned to ensure the success of Casteel High, the staff, and most importantly, the students. Even in the face of overwhelming illness, you push forward for Casteel students. Why? Because you were the ultimate lesson and showed what real courage, character, and commitment looks like. My wish for each of these students is that they too find honor in emulating these traits. Sandy, it feels right tonight to let you know I could not be more proud of Casteel High School. Together, we must thank this class of 2019 for making your vision of the white buffalo come into its own. And I and my husband, Tom, give them our heartfelt appreciation for honoring our family name. I'm sure that from your vantage point, you must see a great and beautiful herd of white buffalo embarking on a great journey now to make this world a better place for all. Thank you, Sandy, for being such an extraordinary leader, a loving friend, and a beautiful person. With love and friendship, Camille. To Mr. Phillips and the entire Casteel faculty and staff, thank you for working tirelessly each and every day to ensure Casteel is a place where students can realize their dreams and find success. To the Casteel parents, thank you for choosing Chandler School District and specifically Casteel High and entrusting your most prized possession to our care. We know you have a choice, and the fact that you chose us means the world. And now, to the Casteel class of 2019. As you leave this campus tonight and go out into the world, from my heart, I wish you the fulfillment of your goals and dreams. I pray that all the challenges you face are easily overcome, that you are blessed with good health, and you give and receive acts of kindness each and every day, and that you see the good in humanity. And someday, as you look up into the clouds, close your eyes for a bit, that you will see the perfect image of a beautiful white buffalo watching over you and sending her grace to all who have ever walked the halls of Casteel High School. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Casteel. It is now my pleasure to introduce the Casteel High School Choir, led by Ms. Cammie Clausen, performing "You'll Never Walk Alone, Climb Every Mountain" by Richard Rogers.
Climb every mountain, search high
Thank you. It is now my honor to invite our first student speaker to the podium, Eric Babcock. Eric is graduating summa cum laude. He is an AP scholar with distinction, a member of the National Honor Society, a key member of our men's varsity basketball team, and he will be attending Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University this fall. Please welcome Eric Babcock.
Good evening, everybody. Before I start, I just want to say how grateful I am to be speaking to you guys today. It really means a lot to be up here. Also, let's hear it for our first ever graduating class. 4 years ago, when I walked into Casteel, I was one of over 200 freshmen carrying blind ambition in the weight of 1,000,000 questions. Even with 3 high school musical movies to prepare us, the class of 2019 had no idea about the challenges ahead. We entered an institution whose history was as empty as its barren hallway walls. Casteel had not yet held a single prom, sporting event, or club meeting. Our gymnasium had no bleachers, no scoreboard, and no banners to boast, because it hadn't even been built yet. Although we never had the rich history of normal schools, Casteel was not built with normality in mind. We did not see our empty hallway walls as a reminder of our empty history, but rather as a blank canvas for us to paint our goals and aspirations. When I look into Casteel's first ever graduating class, I see 300 individual artists daring enough to see the new school not as a risk, but as an opportunity to succeed. Our passionate principal, Sandy Lundberg, left her mark on the Casteel family and modeled excellence for our students. She always made sure we held ourselves to the highest standards, and from the very first day of freshman year, we had brainology, growth mindset, and what she called being the white buffalo. For those of you who have never been graced by the unwavering optimism of Mrs. Lundberg, the white buffalo is a 1 in 10 million eco-anomaly who people revere for its unique coloring and exceptionality. Whether it be practicing life skills in academic lab or holding our athletics to a higher standard of sportsmanship, we were always called to be white buffalo, and we rose to the challenge. After only 4 years, Casteel boasts multiple state championships, established clubs and communities, and 2 national merit finalists, an honor that less than 1% of students receive. Even as fans, Casteel has come a long way. I'm sure we all remember junior year, our varsity football team went undefeated and won the state championship. Woo! However, it's hard to forget sophomore year when Coach Houston spent half of an assembly teaching us how to properly cheer at football games. It's obvious we listened because the Colt Stampede was later voted as one of the top student sections nationwide. It is this growth and development that embodies the Casteel way. We built our school from the ground up, and we will always push to be excellent. The white buffalo mentality is not only present with our students. Miss Grace taught us to ask brave questions and that we can accomplish anything. Mr. Sturmer modeled professionalism and scholarly pursuit in our English classrooms. And Mr. Wilson taught us that being excellent and having fun are not mutually exclusive. Our dedicated faculty and our pioneering students are who make up the Colt Way. The history and culture established by Casteel's first graduating class will be remembered for years to come. And as we leave the herd and move on to the next chapters of our lives, we will continue to carry the spirit of the white buffalo as she breathes through our full and vibrant hallway walls. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, Eric. I would now like to introduce you to the Casteel High School Orchestra led by Miss Paula Jones. Paula Jones's group will perform Prelude from Bach Concerto Grosso, number 1. It is my honor now to invite our second student speaker of the evening to the podium, Mr. Samuel Perez. Sam is graduating summa cum laude. He's an AP scholar and a DECA International Top 10 finalist. He will be attending Arizona State University this fall. Please welcome Mr. Sam Perez.
Here we are.
Miss Myers, over there. She is?
Good evening. I'm afraid I'm at the kick this off with a bit of bad news, sadly. All apologies from me. But this is always the hardest part. It's been a great 4 years, but I think it's about that time we went our separate ways. And no, it's not you. You know what? It's not me either. In fact, it's all of us. Because after all the moments we secretly passed out, zoned out, walked out, and hid the fact that we secretly were about to put our earbuds back in when class started, we reached the end, and that means we can finally get some sleep. But don't doze off just yet. This isn't the part where you disappear, because I have one speech to give tonight, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little nervous. An insatiable desire to pursue a dream, the eagerness to move on with life. These are feelings that we can all relate to. But would it hurt to think back on the past, to reflect upon the moment we could be found at our desks, slouching, drooling, eyelids barely open, questioning our purpose in life, thinking to ourselves, why am I here? Why am I in this class? And how could all this information I'm shoveling into my big, smart brain possibly help me with my future, with my tomorrow? I was on the light rail to Phoenix, en route to an anesthesiologist's Q&A with a big math textbook on my lap. I was trying to make sense of it, and I was asking myself those same questions. I had 3 finals the following Monday and a Spanish project that I had put off for way too long. So you could tell I was a little stressed, right? But try to imagine how surprised I was when I got there and the doctor herself had said she had forgotten everything about calculus. Shocking, right? But then it hit me. It's human nature. As we move up in the world, and we will, most of us will not retain the specifics about antiderivatives, linkage institutions, or fiat money. We're human. And as humans, we tend to forget that which we hold little interest. But stop right there, because if you think that my little story proves that high school math is pointless, you'd be entirely incorrect, irrational. Think of it this way. Her math teachers over the years were not only responsible with teaching her each concept, they were responsible with giving her the tools to analytically think and reason for herself. So a class lecture is not merely about listening and taking notes. There is a level of nuance and depth to it that is not so easily noticed. So my purpose tonight, the reason you're all staring me down right now, is to point out just how Casteel has contributed to our futures, our tomorrow. In case you haven't noticed, we have partaken in this Castilian play with the same cast of characters for the past 4 years. Communication with each other to get dates, free food, and tutoring on the study guide is to be due the following day in econ. You guys know what I'm talking about. Inevitably, we have learned the importance of networking, building connections so we can get that internship at Boeing, and we can get that position and job at Disney, Wall Street, and beyond. Ultimately, we have come to the realization that it's often not the grades we make, but the hands we shake. And we have listened and sat to countless lectures, absorbing the teachings and opinions of our instructors as well as each other. We have jostled and thrashed in formal debate, reciting our arguments and rebuttals ad nauseum. These moments have allowed us to develop a critical eye of sorts, a critical eye that allows us to discern fact from fiction and keeps us grounded, a critical eye that strengthens our beliefs and sharpens our views, a critical eye that will never betray you, it will never fail you, and it will enlighten you when the truth becomes uncertain. So if you ask me to describe high school in a single quote with all the complicated feelings attached, I would stare at you for a good 5 minutes. I would. But then I would refer you to James Joyce, the famous poet who once said, "River run, past Eve and Adams, from swerve of shore to bend of bay, brings us by a commodious vicus of recirculation, back to Howth Castle and Environs." So last but not least, I give a special thanks to my family, my friends, the teachers, the administration, Camille Casteel, and to you, the graduates. Together, let us dare to disturb the universe. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. I would now like to introduce the Casteel High School Band led under the direction of Drew Erie, who will perform a song that I am going to butcher the title of, Amparacco by Jamie Texador, arranged by Fagan. The American Sign Language students off to my left and right love it when I go off script, which I currently am. But I just wanted to thank them personally for all the time and effort they've put in to interpreting tonight's ceremony. The future does not belong to the faint-hearted. It belongs to the brave. Ronald Reagan. Dr. Casteel, members of the school board, Casteel faculty, and the parents of the brave students who established Casteel High School as a place that teaches students the core beliefs of courage, character, and commitment. It is my honor to present to you the first ever graduating class of Casteel High School, the class of 2019. The students sitting here before you took a chance on Miss Lundberg's vision of what a school could be. They were the first freshman class, the first sophomores, the first juniors, and tonight they are the first graduating seniors of Casteel High School. The risk you took coming to a new school has paid off. When you started Casteel, the history of the school was unwritten. Now our history is established because of you. You have celebrated state championships and individual state championships. If you were a member of a state championship while your time at Casteel, or you won a state championship individually, would you please stand to be recognized? Our Casteel Colts have earned an unprecedented $11.28 million in scholarships. If you're furthering your education through scholarship or you are a member of National Junior Honor Society, will you please rise so that you can be recognized? Thank you. Our Fine Arts program has received numerous awards and accolades. Will the members of our band, orchestra, choir, and drama, and the students who had their work displayed on our district art show please stand so that you may also be recognized? Our career and technical education programs, known as CTE, have won multiple awards at state, national, and international competitions. If you could please stand so that you could also be recognized. And finally, if you are going on to serve our country in the military, will you please stand so you can be recognized? The class of 2019 has set the tone for future classes that will sit in our classrooms, perform on our stages, and compete on our athletic fields. While I know that the Casteel High School's future is bright, I do not envy the students of future classes for the shoes that they have been left to fill by the class of 2019. No one will ever be able to say they were first except for you. Your history and legacy is secure. Graduations are rare opportunities to celebrate not only the past, but the future. Graduations force you to reflect upon the journey that has brought you here tonight. And while the path that each of you took to get to the seat that you're sitting in may be different, each of you is about to walk across the stage and receive the same honor. Graduations are celebrated differently depending upon who you are, a parent, or a faculty member, or a student. As students tonight, you are focused on the journey that lays beyond the halls of Casteel. When asked about the future, Pierre Doc stated, "The future is the past in preparation." And while you dream of the future, it is the preparation that your parents are reflecting upon right now. Regardless of where your journey takes you in the future, the awards you receive, or the struggles you face, your loved ones sitting in the stands tonight will always remember you as that child that took their first steps, or the day they dropped you off at kindergarten for your first day of school. They see you as having unlimited potential. Tonight, in many ways, it is as much about the parents as it is for you. Be prepared to hear, "I need just one more photo," about 1,000 times tonight. Just breathe. Smile, it'll all pass. You only have one high school graduation, and they want to make sure they capture every minute of it so they can reconstruct it digitally later. The journey that you got here tonight wasn't possible without their unwavering support and love. They've been by your side for every step of the way, and while you sit there dreaming about the future, wanting it to be here now, your parents envision you as that small child who in their minds just spoke their first words, heading off to college. While you're running forwards into the future at full speed, your loved ones know that you are prepared to handle any and all challenges that the future holds. But it doesn't mean that they're not worried or nervous or sad to see you starting a journey that's more independent than the one that brought you to this celebration tonight. Even though you, the class of 2019, are graduating tonight, you will continue to add more gray hairs, more wrinkles, and many more sleepless nights to the parents and loved ones that are here supporting you tonight. Students, before you go rushing off into the future, I beg you to focus on the here and now. To enjoy the celebration of this accomplishment, the future will happen even if you don't want it to. To quote a famous 80s philosopher from my high school days, Howard Jones, Don't try to live your life in one day. Don't go speed your time away. Look to the friends who are sitting alongside you. You will remember them for a lifetime. The stories you tell about them today, about your friends, will be nowhere as near as exciting as the story you tell about them 5, 10, or 15 years in the future. While your future is unknown, the past is always has a way of improving upon reality. You will have many opportunities to celebrate in the future, but I hope you take the time to enjoy the present and each of those moments fully. Eleanor Roosevelt said, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." Thank you for believing in the beauty of Sandy's dream, of a perfect high school. Thank you for being here tonight on the fields of our Casteel. I, along with the staff of Casteel High School, believe in the beauty of your dreams, and we know that your courage, character, and commitment to those dreams will make those dreams become a reality. To the parents sitting in the stands and the students sitting before me, I could not be more proud of the trail that you have forged as the class of 2019. And I do not envy the generations of Colts that will use your success as their benchmarks. You are the first, you are the best, you are the class of 2019. Tonight we are honored to have Dr. Casteel with us. She will be presenting you your jackets and your diplomas on this side. And unbeknownst to Mr. Tom Casteel, he will be standing on this side presenting you your jackets to celebrate your accomplishments. Now, graduates, please stand. Superintendent, members of the governing board, faculty, parents, and guests, it is with great pride that I present to you the Casteel High School class of 2019. I hereby certify that each of these graduates has satisfactorily completed the courses of studies required by the Chandler Unified School District Governing Board and the Board of Education for the State of Arizona. Students, you may now be seated. Will the faculty and staff please prepare the graduates for the presentations of diplomas? Tonight's diplomas will be presented by the Chandler Unified School District Governing Board members David Evans and Ms. Karen McGee, alongside Chandler Unified School District Superintendent Dr. Camille Casteel and Mr. Tom Casteel. I have to give him just a few more instructions because we surprised him with this.
Madison Elizabeth Cook, summa cum laude.
Melissa Ray Lundberg, summa cum laude.
Eric Dean Babcock, summa cum laude.
Mark Owen Christensen, cum laude.
Samuel Jacob Perez, summa cum laude.
Matthew Alexander Abramson.
Mary Joy Flora Acosta, cum laude.
Matthew Christopher Acosta.
Shaughnessy Isaiah Adams, cum laude.
Elias Judd Adams.
Anna Christina Aguirre.
Shelby Yeva Albrecht.
Karsten Jake Allen.
Ethan Jacob Anderson.
Joseph Michael Engsted.
Drew Nicholas Armijo.
Jaden Ty Arnold.
Derek Tyler Auclair, magna cum laude.
Naya Simone Austin.
Ariel Mackenzie Ayub, cum laude.
Brandon Michael Babcock, cum laude.
Michaela Faye Barnett, cum laude.
David Joseph Barrientos, magna cum laude.
Boston Elise Barrow.
Gracie Lynn Benson, cum laude.
Jaden Michael Hayes Dick Benzing. Brinkley Ann Biddulph, cum laude.
Tyla Ann Biggs, cum laude.
Chloe Ann Blackhurst, cum laude.
Noelle Carolyn Blair.
Sarah Elizabeth Blanchard, cum laude.
Ian Albert Otto Bonstead.
Daniel Ethan Bonas, cum laude.
Kayla Renee Boothroyd.
Jaylene Bracamontes, cum laude.
Madeline Elizabeth Brooks, cum laude.
Elray Brooks III.
Cameron Alexander Brown, summa cum laude.
Kobe Brian Brubaker.
Ainsley Ella Burns, cum laude.
Maxwell Stephen Callerman, cum laude.
Jacob Albert Camacho Ruiz.
Nubia Janelli Campa.
Megan Celeste Can, magna cum laude.
Trevor Benjamin Carmody.
Kennedy Leanne Carter.
Peyton Izzy Caviar.
Zoe Jaylyn Chambers, cum laude.
Cameron Ray Charbonneau.
Lindsay Elizabeth Charvet, cum laude.
Nina Nicole Shadoin, magna cum laude.
Terrace Monta Cheek.
Cooper Jeffrey Christensen, cum laude.
Tyler Adam Christensen, summa cum laude.
Davis Reed Cullimore.
Jacob Max Christopher.
Jackson Tyler Church, summa cum laude.
Devin Gregory Clare, cum laude.
William Elijah Clayton, summa cum laude.
Jaden Bryce Clement.
Sabrina Ariana Clement.
Camille Nicole Coxum.
Kyle Emmanuel Coxum.
Tori Christian Koch, cum laude.
Colton Davis Coker.
Walter Shumway Cole, cum laude.
Callie Christine Coleman.
Michael Ray Contreras.
Ryan Matthew Cook.
Elizabeth Suzanne Corrier.
Eric Anthony Corey. Love you, kid.
Caitlin Elizabeth Cowan, summa cum laude.
Michaela Ann Cox, magna cum laude.
Erin Elizabeth Crane, cum laude.
Lily Elizabeth Cremo.
Lelena Joe Crutchfield.
Gunnar Dylan Cruz, magna cum laude.
Madeline Marie Defoe, summa cum laude.
Preston Blaine Doherty, cum laude.
Chloe Noel Davis, cum laude.
Cameron J. Decker.
Kaylee Sue Doddridge.
Renee Marie Doty Acosta.
Taylor Hill Driscoll.
Hannah Renee Duffy, cum laude.
Derek Odrell Edward.
Tatum Alaire Ellis.
Joseph Michael Facone.
Megan Elizabeth Farger.
Caitlin Rose Ferrier.
Lauren Ray Feininger.
Jacob David Figley.
Ricky Lee Finn.
Ashton Finney, cum laude.
Cole Michael Finvick.
Charles James Fisher, cum laude.
Jarrett Daniel Flitton, cum laude.
John Taylor Faris.
Seth Edward Funderburk.
Daniel Santiago Galvin, cum laude.
Gage Russell Garrett.
Bryson James Gledhill, magna cum laude.
Destiny Grace Marie Glenn, magna cum laude.
Lydia Megan Good, cum laude.
Ian Bernard Gravatt.
Madison Jean Grostick.
Nathan David Greenwich, cum laude.
Zachary James Gustafson, cum laude.
Shelby Grace Haas, magna cum laude.
Taylor Christine Hall, cum laude.
Justin Joseph Hall.
Hope Ann Hansen.
Christopher Connor Harney, cum laude.
Luis Alejandro Zavala Haro.
Haley Brianna Harrison.
Lauren Marie Hayes, magna cum laude.
Joshua Connor Hadaway, summa cum laude.
Justin Thomas Hadding.
Haley Reese Hawley, cum laude.
Elizabeth Anne Marie Hayes. Alexis Brielle Hebb.
Cameron Michael Henderson.
Megan Elizabeth Henthorn.
Isaac Daniels Hernandez, cum laude.
Andreas Jose Herrera.
Jody Lynn Herrera.
Paige Elizabeth Heyer.
Hannah Lee Holiday, cum laude.
Abby Nicole Holthusen.
Joshua David Hughes.
Bailey Nicole Hunt.
Gunnar Garrett Williams Hurt.
Chandler Kyle Insco.
Odalise Brazil Jackson, magna cum laude.
Crystal Lynn Yonner, cum laude.
Jacob Stefan Gendura.
Brinkley Nicole Jensen.
Hannah Marion Johnson, cum laude.
Kaylee Ann Johnson, magna cum laude.
Mac Simeon Johnson.
Olivia Mae Jones, cum laude.
Haley Rebecca Justice.
Jaden Russell Kasler.
Tanner Espen Keeley.
Anya Michelle Keller, cum laude.
Emily Jane Kellogg.
Natalia Elizabeth Kelly.
Carly Ann Kendall, summa cum laude.
Zachary Chadwick Kennedy, cum laude.
Miranda Ariana Kim, cum laude.
Daniel Douglas O'Brien Kirkland, cum laude.
Chase Donovan Klapperick, summa cum laude.
Tanner J. Kuntz.
Nita Uday Kulkarni, summa cum laude.
Nathan Evan Lawrence Kurtz.
Brighton Andrew Lamb.
Kaya Emily Langacre.
Samuel Baldwin Larson.
Regan Becky Lewis.
Zachary Robert Litwin, summa cum laude.
Kaylee Rose Llewellyn.
Caitlin Ann Lagozo, cum laude.
Sadie Marie Lorenzana.
Sid Julian Lucas.
Marcus Reagan Lucas.
Tyler Anthony Lucas.
Elijah Alexander Ludwig, cum laude.
Zane Riley Lukash.
Isabella Rose Lukes, magna cum laude.
Christiana Renee Luna.
Sarah Catherine McLean.
Heather Ray McGuire.
Nicole Christina Majeras.
Elisa Emma Malolo.
Gabriela Alejandra Marin.
Haley Nicole Maroney.
Bronwyn Veronica Marr.
Jaden Bryant Martin.
Andrea Nicole Martinez.
Emily Christine Martinez.
Joshua Emmanuel Martinez.
Emma Kate Marks, summa cum laude.
Timothy Sky Mayhew.
Wesley Kate McBride, magna cum laude.
Trace Michael McBride.
Christopher Cole McCormick.
Lauren Elise McGee, cum laude.
Ashley Renee McClarty Crespin.
Madison Renee McLaughlin. Connor Yale McGahee.
Anthony Dominic Mendoza, cum laude.
Luis Angela Mercado.
Allison Nicole Meyer, summa cum laude.
Javon Pepper Miles.
Connor Austin Miller, cum laude.
Nicole Lynn Millspaugh.
Sydney Ann Moore.
Blaine Stephen Moran, cum laude. Bryce Randall Mortensen, magna cum laude.
Cheyenne Grace Munn, cum laude.
Luke Anthony Musselman.
Jaron Frank Napier.
Zachary Russell Nelson.
Jacob Todd Newman.
Mila Tozao Wynn, magna cum laude.
Jerron Joseph Nichols.
Keely Elise Nicholson.
Bryce Jotham Nickel.
Max Jeffrey Nieder, cum laude.
Riley Charles Norris.
Madison Lynn Officer, magna cum laude.
Marissa Muzot Orta, cum laude.
Yareli Padilla, cum laude.
Duncan Aaron Palm.
William Josefo Perry IV, cum laude.
Nicholas Andres Petroto.
Madison Renee Pickens.
Zoe Pickett.
Luke William Pakula.
Austin Tyler Ponsness.
Weston James Priest, summa cum laude.
McKenna Elizabeth Ratter, cum laude.
Pierce Hunter Riccozzi, cum laude.
Mason Samuel Rama.
Dayton Reese Rankin.
Calvin Joseph Rattay.
Rebecca Lee Ray, summa cum laude.
Baylor Kyle Ray.
Sarah May Reasons.
Bailey Morgan Redding, cum laude.
Caden Scott Register.
Weston Allen Register.
Dominique LaShawn Rice.
Cassidy Ray Riddle.
Mario Antonio Rodriguez.
Leah Monique Ross.
Jaron Terry Rucker, cum laude.
Nolan Ty Riddell.
Abigail Barbara Rude, cum laude.
Nicholas Daniel Rupert.
Matthew John Russo.
Macy Ann Sanders, summa cum laude.
Veronica Elizabeth Shire, cum laude.
Olivia Jordan Schilling.
Lauren Elizabeth Schneider, magna cum laude.
Tate Farrell Scow, cum laude.
Madison Page Schultz.
Jillian Irene Searcy, cum laude.
Francisco Alberto Sepulveda.
Jose Alfredo Sepulveda.
Riley Garrett Shin.
Kyle Ray Shirley, cum laude.
Aaron Michelle Schreiner, cum laude.
Kaysen Taylor Simonton, cum laude.
Jacob Andrew Slater.
Serena Mary Smith, summa cum laude.
Callie Faith Smith.
Dylan Joseph Smith.
Jacob Hunter Smith.
John Michael Sorey.
Hannah Jane Stark, cum laude.
Calissa Eileen Steer, summa cum laude.
Talon Michelle Stevenson.
Alexia Ruth Stewart, magna cum laude.
Carly Dawn Stewart, summa cum laude.
Francis Michael Stokes.
Bryce Aaron Sewell.
Rachel Morgan Sulzbach.
Manuel Alejandro Toboada Garcia.
Dorothy Marie Taylor.
Peyton James Taylor.
Brandon Hunter Osborne Thomas, summa cum laude.
Braden Scott Thomas.
Cheyenne Starr Tiemann.
Diego Fernando Torres.
Zachary Ashton Townsend.
Emily Gang.
Jenna Dawn Transtrom.
Bailey Aaron Trask.
Eric Michael Urban.
Pamela Brooke Erlacher, magna cum laude.
Jacqueline Valenzuela, cum laude.
Tyler Ryan Vandebuken, cum laude.
Brianna Lee Van Horn, summa cum laude.
Brody Michael Wagner.
Alex James Wagner. Kahim Jakil Walid.
Brandon Philip Wallen.
Olivia Jane Warner.
Wyatt Franklin Arthur Washburn.
William Carl Weaver III.
Cruz Zachary Webster.
Carly Ann Wedge, cum laude.
Braden Timothy Waite.
Amy Danielle Weissman.
Aaron Stephen Wesley Jr.
Caitlin Ashley White.
Tabitha Rain White.
Caslin Michelle Weidenbenner.
Reagan Justine Wildermuth.
Kelly Mai Williams.
Addison Elizabeth Wood, cum laude.
Christian Dean York, summa cum laude.
Kyle Francis York.
Trevor Craig Yost.
Madeline Nicole Zook, cum laude.
Let's hear it for the class of 2019. It is my great honor to welcome to the stage Miss Melissa Lundberg and Senior Class President Mark Christensen for our closing remarks.
The opportunity to create something from the ground up is scarce and must be pursued with genuine passion and a personal drive. This was embodied by the inspiration that was Sandy Lundberg. Expectations have been set for us since our first day, July 20th, 2015. Those expectations were formed from a basis of perseverance when creating and developing a vision of what Casteel High School would become. As a class of 2019, we were given the opportunity to build that vision. But setting one goal and obtaining it was never the purpose of that vision. Because for most, once a goal is met, the job is done, and most would be content to stop there. But not us. Our job was to create something that would last beyond our 4 years at Casteel. Our job was to create a legacy of never setting limits of what is attainable, both for the individual or the collective whole. The truth is, a lot of challenges and diversity have been experienced in the last 4 years, but we've continued in our journey of constantly paving a new path. Our time here at Casteel High School has taught us to envision an end goal and achieve it. We created a school culture that has remnants of every single cult that has crossed the stage tonight, and those remnants will stay and influence future cults forever. What we leave here today is a vision that we saw 4 years ago, a sense of hope and unlimited opportunity, that you can be lacking money, confidence, support, experience. the list goes on. But if you have a vision and you're willing to kindle that vision into the product you want, you have everything you need to be uncommon. Put a goal in your head, outwork everyone who challenges you, and I guarantee you will reach your destination and continue to leave a legacy wherever you go. True story.
Now, I would like to ask you to stand and join me in singing our fight song, led by the CCHS Band, as this was one of the first traditions we established 4 years ago. Class of 2019, please remain standing. I address you now for the last time as your senior class president. Turning our tassels symbolizes the new chapter of our lives and becoming the first graduates of Dr. Camille Casteel High School. You may now turn your tassel. Congratulations, class of 2019, we did it!
Don't okay. I ran my mouth off a bit too much. What did I say? Well, you just laughed it off. It was all okay. Worry, we'll all float on. We'll all float on. It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here. You can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. To you.